هل تريد تعلم اللغة الإنجليزية بطريقة مختلفة وممتعة؟ في هذا الفيديو ستتعلم كلمات وجمل إنجليزية من خلال قصة رعب حقيقية بدون ملل ولا حفظ ممل. استعد لتتعلم واستعد للخوف. This is something that happened years ago in my mother's village. It's a story she told me multiple times growing up, and every time she does, I get chills. Her father, my grandfather, was a deeply spiritual man. He never touched meat or alcohol. He was extremely disciplined and dedicated to his prayers, always focused on staying spiritually clean and calm. People in the village respected him for that. He wasn't just religious. He had this unshakable energy that felt protective. One day he got into an argument with a man from the village. I don't know the exact details, but the man wanted something from him, and my grandfather said no. It turned into a heated exchange, and the man walked off angry. Nothing physical happened, just tension. But the next day, something did happen. That afternoon, my grandfather was resting on a wooden bench just outside the house. In village homes, there's usually a shaded area outside the main door, and beyond that is an open courtyard. While he was napping there, he suddenly woke up to a strange sound. It was a deep humming, like the sound of a swarm of bees, but not natural, louder, heavier, and almost vibrating through the ground. As he sat up and looked around, he saw it. A black swirling smoke was floating near the edge of the courtyard. It was hovering just outside the boundary, almost like it was looking for a way in. The smoke wasn't moving like fog or mist. It had weight, it had purpose. It was alive, and it was clearly trying to reach him. He immediately understood what was happening. Someone had used Carney on him. Carney is a dark ritual used in some rural areas to send a harmful spirit toward a specific person. The way it's done is incredibly disturbing. The person performing the ritual dips a matchstick or twig into the feces of the person they want to curse, then places that stick into their own mouth and chants certain mantras to release the spirit. Once sent, the entity hunts its target. But if the target is spiritually strong or protected, the entity struggles to reach them. And when that happens, it doesn't just vanish. It goes back to the sender. My grandfather didn't panic. He sat up and began chanting powerful mantras, words he had known and practiced for decades. The black smoke kept swirling just beyond the edge of the courtyard, humming louder and more aggressively, but it couldn't enter. It was like there was an invisible wall between them. After what felt like a long few minutes, the smoke suddenly retreated. It backed away slowly, then vanished completely. The very next morning, the man who had fought with him was found dead. He had collapsed and died vomiting blood. There was no clear medical reason. People in the village whispered that the Carney had backfired. The spirit meant for my grandfather had returned to the one who called it. My mother always says these things should never be taken lightly. Carney is dangerous, not just for the victim, but for the person using it. If you mess with forces you don't understand, you could be the one paying the price. And if you ever hear a humming sound that seems to come out of nowhere, especially in an empty place, don't ignore it. وتعلم إنجليزي أكثر رعباً وتشويقاً.